Hello everybody and welcome back to Ours Trains. My name's Corey and in today's video we're celebrating a very important date in my personal lover's trains, as well as a very important date in the Saratoga Corinth and Hudson Railway's history. That would be our very first train ride. 1 year ago today, the day the video is filmed, or the day the video is coming out actually. That is our very first public train ride. May 22nd, 2022 was a day that changed my life forever, and a day the SC&H was born, in my opinion. Again, the train existed before then, but we hadn't had any public train rides before that. It had just been moving some of the equipment around and stuff like that. Heck, half the stuff was even painted too, Some of the cars still had their prior paint schemes on it and stuff, and the SC&H didn't really have its full identity yet, so having that first train ride in and then coming up with the wonderful yellow shield and stuff like that, that was the day the SC&H was born. May 22nd, that's the day it all happened in my opinion. So in today's video we're going to tell my personal story of joining the crew and what it's been like since then. So yeah, anyways, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and like the video if you happen to like it and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get moving, let's go. And then it comes to my story of the SC&H. Well, for that we have to go back quite a few years to when I was a little kid. Of course, my grandfather had gotten me into model trains, but it wasn't too often I saw real trains. So the opportunity I would get to see a real train was always super special. Now, the very first train ride I had was on the Upper Hudson River Railway up in North Creek, New York, just a few dozen miles north of Corinth here, and that was such a special day. And I remember that one well, and I just fell in love with trains and all sorts of other things about railroads and stuff. But then after that came the Saratoga North Creek, which I believe I ran them 1 or 2 times, and then they went bankrupt in 2018. Now, 2018, for those who know the channel well, is right when I started getting back into trains. That's right when I started Ours Trains itself. So the second I saw that, I was like, no, now I get back into trains. And my only opportunity to go see the only local tourist railway is now gone. So I don't know, it was a very tricky time, I guess you could say, because I don't know, I felt like I was out of luck. Like, now I get back into trains, now the only local tourist railway is gone, so what do I do? So, yeah, the line here, the D&H Adirondack branch, had been, I wouldn't say abandoned, but just out of use for, 4 or 5 years by the time the SC&H came around. So I didn't think of it too much. I just thought, oh, what's going to happen to it, So, anyways, it was December 27th, 2021, and my dad always reads the newspaper, and I believe this was the Daily Gazette, and right in the little corner listing they had, I can't remember if it was a front page or not, but it was a little tiny, section on the newspaper, and it had said, notice of formation, Saratoga Corinth and Hudson Railway. And my dad was like, hey Corey, I think you might want to check this out. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's about the train, right? Because keep in mind, you'd occasionally hear things about the Adirondack branch, and I was always interested, like, oh, this line might buy this, or oh, business is talking about this and this, but nothing really materialized besides the rail bikes coming in, of course. But anyways, I saw that and I freaked out. I'm like, let's go! We're finally getting something on the Adirondack Bridge. And I knew right there and then that this was going to be a grand operation. I can't remember if Hal's name was listed in this thing there, but man, you should have seen my face sitting by the fireside reading that little news thing there. I made sure to even cut and clip it out too, and I still have it. It's in my basement. I'll put a picture of it in if I can right now. But that's where really my journey for the SC&H kind of started. Now, it kind of died down a little bit because, not too much was going on. It was winter after all. So it was probably, around late February or March when I decided to, poke around and see if anything's come about. Well, I think we had the Facebook page together by then, so I found that, and then I saw the website, www.corinthtrain.com, and I was like, let's go, it's happening. I saw the equipment, I saw Alco 5 up here, and I knew that finally, for the first time in ages, something is actually coming to the Adirondack branch. So I reached out to Hal, and I was like, okay, if there's any way I can help, please let me know. And it'd be a few months, obviously, until we started or anything like that. But yeah, just following the progress from there and getting closer and closer, it was just amazing. It's really hard to think back to that time, It was about a year ago, of course, but, a lot's happened since then, and my mind isn't too clear on exactly what stages took place, but my first visit to the SC&H was May 20th, 2022. The exact day I'm filming this on. And fun fact, actually, probably about now is when our first, well, not our first, but our test train that day came up here, right up to the main line, and that was, man, I don't know how to describe it. I just remember that day very well. I was super, super nervous. This was like my first job interview ever, right? Or, well, actually, no, but, towards trains and the whole train world, and Hal had always been like a legend, like, oh, Hal Raven, the Alco extraordinaire, or however you like to say it. So I was super nervous about meeting him and the whole crew, so I had pulled up to King's. We didn't keep the train here originally at Corinth. We would keep it at King's. And I pulled up, and I was lost the whole time. I thought it was at Corinth, so I came up here, and there was nothing here. I'm like, what? There's no train at all. So I was like going all over the place trying to find where we kept it. But then, yes, I learned it was at King's, and came up there, and it was like, hi, my name's Corey. It's nice to meet you. Like, I don't know if I was shaking or not, but it sure felt like it. But yeah, got to know everyone there, and oh man, we were doing a test run that day. I was like, no way, I get to ride the train. So yeah, we came up here and back, and man, weird to think that was only a year ago. Sometimes it feels shorter, sometimes it doesn't feel short at all. It feels like it's been a lot longer or what have you. But man, ever since then, though, has literally been a dream come true. I had always dreamt of what it'd be like to become a passenger conductor, getting to punch people's tickets on the train. Like, I'd always dream what I'd be like at Strasbourg, right? Like, oh, what would it be like working at Strasbourg, or just any tourist railroad? And May 22nd, the day the video was filming, was literally when that dream came true. I'll quickly walk you guys through how that day went. That was our very first public train ever. A few days beforehand, I believe it was May 18th, we had did like a family and friends train, but that wasn't really anything. The SC&H really didn't exist yet. Like I said earlier, it was just a book with blank pages. We had no idea how the run would work. Or, well, we knew how the run would work, but with actual passengers on board and stuff like that. And I don't know, it was just a blank book with blank pages. So that first day was, everything's on full alert. You're so full of energy and anxiety as well, because you don't know what to expect, So pulling into the parking lot here, everyone was here. It was like an all hands on deck day, because, we don't know what happened, we don't know how many volunteers and stuff we need. So everyone was there. And plus, first train ever, you gotta be there, It's literally witnessing history. So everyone was here in the parking lot, and I was going around in my conductor getup, and I was so nervous, I didn't know what to do. So, you'd see a car or two start to come in, and I'm like, dude, the very first passengers to the Saratoga Corinth Hudson Railway just pulled up. And, the Corinth lot, there's nothing here. The cars just pull in. It's a blank lot with the train and, our little shed of a station or whatever. It wasn't even decorated yet. All we had was benches, and that was it. The station had just been delivered, actually, because we were supposed to get a little station beforehand, but, that fell through, so we had to find a different person to get our station. So the station had just got there, the day before. So literally, we had to count all of our lucky stars, or whatever you'd like to say. But anyways, more and more people came in, and it was just nuts. I just didn't know what to think. I was so excited at the same time, but I didn't know what to do. So I just followed Hal around to see what he was doing. He was doing the, oh, hi, thanks for coming to the railroad and stuff like that. What normal Hal does, I guess. But yeah, that was so much fun. Just watching the train move with people on it for the first time, seeing people and it was a hot day too, it was like 90, and I don't know if it was humid, but it was 90 degrees, and man, I remember that day so well. And yeah, the train took off, and man, crazy. I literally can't believe it's been a year. And, so much has happened since, we've done so many trains. we've had literally a whole season under our belts now. You know, we've done birthday trains, regular summer trains, pizza trains, ice cream trains. We've done a wedding. We've done excursion trains. We've done photo shoots. We've done... I could go on and on, you know, like... Again, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's been a year. Then sometimes it feels like, you know, it has been a while. You know, a lot's happened since then. But, man, it's just so tricky to think about, you know. I'm just so thankful for everything that has happened. Literally, I am so lucky to just be sitting here and to be a part of the SC&H crew. Like, I can never say how thankful I am for being a part of this operation. It's literally just a dream come true. You know, I've said that many times this video, but that's what it is. And I'd be lying if I told you it wasn't. It's just, I don't know what to say, but Hal, thank you so much for letting me a part of the crew. This has been such a fun adventure. And, you know, we just got a straight track right ahead. You know, so much is going to happen in the next few years, and it is great to be a part of the crew. It is so much fun to be a part of a little train family. You know, we're nothing big, we're nothing fancy, I guess you could say, but we're no Denver. Although, you know, the top 10 would say something else, you know. So I guess it's very hard to say, oh, what's the best thing on the SC&H? But me being, you know, Mr. Passenger Conductor, I would say this spot right here is the most important spot on the entire railway. This is where every single passenger, well, not every single passenger, but most passengers have waited in line to get on the train here. You know, being, you know, conductor, I can still see all the people that line up here and go out into the parking lot and stuff, or left and right. It's so important. This is where everyone got on the train, you know. This is where everyone was waiting, you know, looking around at the equipment, seeing all the crew run inside the train and stuff, making our final preparations. This, I believe, is the most important spot. And it's so weird to think about all the people who've come here from all over the world. Literally, we've had international travelers and stuff, especially, like, you know, middle of the summer and stuff like that, when, you know, most tourists are in the state and stuff. There's people who've come from all over. It's literally nuts. I can't even begin to describe all the different countries we've had visit us here at the SC&H, but this is where it all matters, I think. This is where everyone, besides, you know, being on the physical train itself, but all the people just waiting, like, you know, hearing the sights and sounds, anxiously waiting for a train ride. This is where it all happened, you know. And my favorite thing to think about when it comes to the SC&H is think about all the memories that have been made here. It's so crazy. Like, people are going to remember our little train for the rest of their lives. I know that's me for sure, but it's so weird to think our little train, this little tiny railway, and the entire Earth is going to be remembered like 70, 80, heck, maybe if we're counting, knock on wood, you know, 100 years from now. That's so weird. That's so weird. But it's awesome. It's a good kind of weird, you know? But that is what counts the best. That's what I love the most as being a conductor here on the SC&H, is making memories, you know, making people smile and continuing to, I guess, hold the torch up for the tradition of railroading here on the Delaware and Hudson's Adirondack branch, you know.